Most people don't fail because they lack money. They fail because they chase attention. And attention is expensive. Not in dollars, in distraction, in ego, in noise. There's a company you've probably interacted with dozens of times, but you've never thought about it. No viral ads, no celebrity founders, no loud branding. Yet somehow, it quietly built a billion-dollar empire. And the uncomfortable truth is, it didn't win by doing more. It won by refusing to play the game everyone else is obsessed with. Here's the pattern nobody talks about. Most businesses are built to be seen, not to be used. They chase visibility instead of necessity. You see it everywhere. People launching brands just to go viral. Companies spending millions to look big. Founders becoming influencers before becoming profitable. And for a moment, it works. They get attention. They get applause. They feel important. But behind the scenes, the numbers don't match the noise. Because attention doesn't equal leverage. And this is where things get interesting, because the company we're talking about did the exact opposite. It didn't try to be seen, it focused on becoming unavoidable. And that shift, that's where everything changed. Most people think success looks loud. Big launches, big announcements, big personalities. But real leverage, it's often invisible. This company didn't ask, how do we get attention? It asked, how do we become part of the system? That's a completely different game. Because when you're part of the system, you don't need customers to choose you. They end up using you by default. And that's dangerous. Because now, competition isn't fighting for attention, they're fighting to replace a habit. And replacing a habit is one of the hardest things in human psychology. Most businesses sell products. This one embedded itself into behavior. Think about it. Selling requires persuasion. Embedding removes the need for persuasion. Instead of convincing people, they position themselves where decisions were already happening, quietly. No noise, no hype, just presence. And over time, that presence turned into dependency. Because once something becomes part of your routine, you stop questioning it. You stop comparing. You just use it. Here's something uncomfortable. A lot of business decisions aren't strategic. They're emotional. People want recognition. They want validation. They want to feel like they're winning. So they make loud moves, not smart ones. This company didn't care about being known. It cared about being used. And that difference, it removed ego from decision-making. No unnecessary expansion. No chasing trends. No building for applause. Just one question. Does this make us harder to replace? If the answer was no, they didn't do it. Simple, but brutally effective. Fame is unpredictable. Frequency is controllable. This company didn't aim for one big moment. It aimed for thousands of small, repeated interactions. Because every interaction is a psychological imprint. Every repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity creates trust. Even if you don't realize it. You don't remember when you first used them, but now they feel normal. And normal is powerful because humans don't question what feels normal. They accept it automatically. Here's where it gets strategic. They didn't just focus on getting users. They focused on making leaving uncomfortable. Not through tricks, through integration. The deeper something is integrated into your life or business, the harder it is to remove. Because switching isn't just a decision, it's effort, it's time, it's risk, it's uncertainty. And most people avoid all three. So they stay, not because they love it, but because leaving feels worse. And that's a powerful position to be in. They played the long game, quietly. Most people overestimate what happens in a year and underestimate what happens in a decade. This company didn't rush. It didn't chase short-term spikes. It built slowly, consistently, almost boringly. But here's the thing about slow growth. It compounds. While others were chasing attention, they were building infrastructure. While others were going viral, they were becoming essential. And by the time people noticed, it was already too late. The gap was too wide. Success isn't about being the best. It's about being the easiest. The easiest to access, the easiest to use, the easiest to keep using. Because humans don't optimize for perfection, they optimize for convenience. And this company leaned into that, not by adding more features, but by removing friction. Every small improvement made it easier to stay and harder to leave. And over time, that simplicity became dominance. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't need more effort. You need better positioning. Most people are stuck in a loop. Work more, post more, sell more. But the real shift is moving from effort to leverage, from being chosen to being unavoidable. Because once you're unavoidable, you don't compete the same way anymore. You don't chase, you don't convince, you don't perform, you exist, and the system pulls people toward you. That's what this company understood, and that's what most people miss. They think success is about standing out, but the real game is about being built in. So the question isn't, how do I get more attention? The real question is, where can I position myself so I no longer need it? Because the moment you stop chasing attention is the moment you start building power.